Well, impatience usually is sort of associated with time, perception of time, right? Like, and associated with discomfort or suffering, or just strong emotions while we wait, or just like feeling anxious because of the unpredictability of what may happen or what may think will happen. It's also sometimes wanting that things would be different, or just like that predictability, wanting something, that an outcome that we want, right? And sometimes it's just the expectations about even ourselves, expectations about what we should be or do, or how we should be. These high expectations of perfection that we have about ourselves. And the opposite, you could say, is just being in the moment, like do. And to be in the moment when things are hard is also a little bit of practice of like being gentle and caring with the difficulty that we experience when we're in that moment of unpredictability or just like waiting. So perhaps maybe we could think about the opposite is just of impatience is trusting that whatever I am experiencing right now, it will change. Yeah, but that's easy to say it. I think that's why the Buddha left us. The Buddha left us this different ways for practices. They call it the 10 perfections, the Paramis in the Pali word, or paramita in the Sankhya work, and there are 10 different states that we can practice to live life in a more wholesome way. And like I say, patience is one of them. And so when we think about patience or impatience, we could think about a great opportunity for us to practice. It's like, when in the heck is she going to ring the bell? Or how come this person didn't turn off the phone? Oh, look, there is that. Let me see how does it feel, me wanting to do things in a different way. Because what else? I mean, we could learn, study more what the Buddha said, but that's what it is. It's like, this is what is showing up right now. This is what I'm experiencing. This is just bringing discomfort because I wanted like a whole 30 minutes where I'm totally focused on my breath or my body, and here's my mind going that way. I saw, okay, this is how it feels when I am impatient with my active mind. And so it's finding that balance between your, the human emotions that we all experience, and being with those balances, right? Without letting that energy sort of like take us into a direction that we may later regret. So we need to recognize what we're feeling, how we're experiencing, how is the body experiencing, in order to find that balance. And when the energy of that emotion is too strong, it's practicing one of the other paramis, one of the other 2 perfections, which is loving kindness. Because if we're going through a difficult moment that requires us to wait, the best skill that we can bring is just kindness for the experience, instead of resisting or wishing like I had more patience, because that just brings add more discomfort. So that's where that loving kindness practice. And sometimes, it's just like our hearts or our worries, like we're worried, right? And that also requires patience and gentleness, kindness. I'll give you an example, a couple of examples. I was dealing with insurance. And I couldn't be upset with anyone except the system. And who is the system? Right? Like humans, it was a hard one, like really hard one. I'm still dealing with, but like the day that it just landed on my life, I just like was in my little office, and I told my son, just like having a horrible day. I have no patience for anything. I actually felt like a tiger cat cage, and just like emails, phone calls, and waiting, and like you can imagine, like never been able to speak to a human, just computers, and I was just like a whole day, right? And at the end of the day, I was really drained. I said, wow, I just like made it worse for me. I couldn't think about anything, forget about it. Like Paramis or practicing kindness, it was just like horrible. And by the end of the day, I had to realize like the only thing I could really do is just be kind with myself, because I just like this is gonna take a long time. It was the only way, just bringing that kindness and recognizing, wow, this is really hard. What I'm experiencing right now is not easy. Having compassion for me, and also having compassion for others that like, wow, I'm really a savvy person. And like, how about others? And just switching that just kind of helped me to like, oh, okay, this is the plan. I was able to switch, right? It was a long struggle where I was like, wow. And then that added even more, because for a moment I'm like, I should have like recognized before, like that, what I'm experiencing right now requires not patience, but just self-care, loving kindness, right? But I was like, I gotta have patience. Like, that wasn't kicking in. It kicked in until I said like, man, this is really hard. Then I had another opportunity. I always mention Camilo, my son, because he's a good teacher for me. So he's been my companion in my trips and camping trips. And he just turned 18, and he got all his gears for camping. And he says, I'm going backpacking by myself. And decided to go to Carolina, and I'm going to lose reception. So he wanted to do this wild trip on his own, right? And I knew he was going to lose reception. And all I could say is just like, fine. He left. And once he lost reception, the anxiety just sort of began, and the concern and the impatience, like, well, how long is this going to be? When is he going to get reception? And it just began, right? Like I started immediately noticing the impatience, sensations, and emotions that were happening. So because I had the other difficult experience, I was like, oh, here it is again. I need to just change where I am. And I went out for a walk. I recognized, oh yeah, this is what it is. I need to surrender because there's nothing I could do. And I said, oh yeah, this is the practice. This is the practice, surrender. Tomorrow, when he has reception, I will be thinking about this moment very differently. I will be telling this story. and sure enough, and I thought, oh, like the other day, like, yeah, that day really sucked. But I remember it differently now. Right? So I was immediately like, oh yeah, what can I do right now? Take a deep breath, take care of myself, and just be kind, because I can't do anything. except to trust that I am a good teacher and I taught him how to take care of him in the wilderness. And so, yeah, so it's really important. And even when we come here and sit, we sit and it's just like getting really uncomfortable. And we're like, when is she going to ring the bell? Because my legs are like getting numb. Just move your legs. Like, yeah, don't add any more discomfort. Move them. Of course, that may sound like easy, and I had to say, like, it's not easy. Like first example that I gave was really difficult, and the second one, my son, it was different. I think because I trusted him. I trusted that I have been a good teacher for him to camp. With the other one, it was even more complicated because, like I say, it's the system. Like there wasn't even a one person that I could be upset with, right? So. In our daily life it's this reminder, how do I stay true and connected with my values, right? Like we show up here and we put this effort to come here to learn how to be better, to learn how to feel better. That's like, how do I stay connected to that? It's by recognizing my humanity. I am not perfect. Right? And if the Buddha left us this reminder that we need to practice and look at patience, is because it's a challenging one. And because it brings a lot of information for us, a lot of teachings. It is not about pushing away the emotions. I'm still pissed off with whoever created the healthcare system that we have. Like I'm still upset, not to anyone specific, right? But I'm still upset, it's unfair. And I just have to recognize this is how it impacts my life, this is how I feel it, and it's okay, it's normal, right? I was upset that my son didn't want me to go with him because it was a day off that I had to, but I had to accept. He's growing up, and this is what I trained him. This is what I had hoped for him to do. And I'm happy, but I'm also sad. So I can be with both, happy and sad. So our job is to pay attention. As I was inviting you all today, pay attention to the body. Pay attention to the thoughts and what emotions. Don't have to push them away. But just come back to your intention. Intention, you come here. Maybe you come because you want to plan something, and okay. But if you came because you want to try and practice and learn how to be present with your life, then stay connected. This is a moment of impatience. This is a moment of anger. And that's it. This is a moment of anger. What can I do to feel more at ease with this experience, with this emotion? And I have to say that sometimes that is a little bit more challenging, and we need to create that this space, like meditation, like sitting at home. It's challenging to do it by yourself, so we arrange. Like if you're at home, you find a place to sit, and you're in a group, and you get yourself comfortable, right? We come here, we put a cushion, we put candles. Maybe we could practice with any of those things that we have with this altar, right? We could still practice. But we create intentionally this sacred space, right? And so sometimes there are moments where it is more difficult, and we need to create also that space for us to hold. Like watching the news, right? And seeing, all the lives that are being gone, that are dying, and all the suffering that we see in the news. It requires to create a sacred space for us to hold that emotion, tenderly and to be patient with other humans that are lost with their views and are harming others. And so that requires even a more careful intention to create a space for us to hold what we're holding. And requires the tenderness that is within us, and recognize, wow, I am a human being that is feeling for others. I am a human being that is angry because others are not seeing life as I wish they would see it. So I just want to recap and invite you to reflect a little bit. It's like it is important whenever we find ourselves that we're losing our patience or recognizing our qualities of impatience, to bring this gentleness and kindness and acceptance. That is another emotion of our human condition. Right? Without that kindness and gentleness, we'll just like fire up more. And allowing to be there, allowing the opportunity for us to say, okay, I have to wait. I know this will change. I know that feels hard to believe that it will change, but trusting that tomorrow you will be telling this story in a different way, or maybe you will see in this experience in a different way.